Hey guys, it's Miss Katie here today to read you another story from the Bible. This one is about a mighty miracle. This is the story of Moses and how he saved his people from a really mean Pharaoh in Egypt. So let's see what the Bible says. Years after Joseph died, another Pharaoh ruled over Egypt. He didn't know about Joseph or all that he had done for Egypt. This Pharaoh saw that his land was filled with Joseph's people, the Israelites or the Hebrews, and he was afraid that they would help Egypt's enemies. So he made them his slaves. Then he commanded a most terrible command that every Israelite baby boy must be thrown in the Nile River. But Jochebed just couldn't throw her baby boy into the river. For 3 months, she kept him a secret. When he grew too big to hide, she tucked him in a basket and nestled it into the reeds by the river. Miriam, the baby's sister, hid nearby to watch over him. The basket was soon found by Pharaoh's own daughter. When she saw the crying baby, she felt sorry for him. Miriam ran to her. "Should I get an Israelite woman to care for him?" she asked. Pharaoh's daughter agreed, and Miriam hurried to get the baby's own mother. When the boy grew older, Jochebed brought him to Pharaoh's daughter. He became her son, and she named him Moses. Years later, Moses saw an Egyptian beating an Israelite slave. He was so angry that he killed the Egyptian. But Pharaoh found out, and then he tried to kill Moses. Moses ran away and became a shepherd in Midian. When Pharaoh finally died, another Pharaoh took his place. But life was still terrible for the Israelites. They cried out to God for help, and he heard them. One day, Moses was out tending the sheep when he saw something strange. A bush was on fire, but it didn't burn up. Suddenly, God spoke from the bush. "Moses, I'm sending you to lead my people out of Egypt." But Moses didn't want to go. "I'm not good at speaking," he said. "Please send someone else." God became angry, but he said, "Aaron, your brother, will meet you. He'll speak for you." Look at that bush. That's crazy. Moses traveled back to Egypt. Together, he and Aaron went to Pharaoh and said, "Yahweh, the God of Israel, says, 'Let my people go.'" But Pharaoh said, "Who is Yahweh? And why should I obey him? I will not let Israel go." God sent Moses and Aaron down to the Nile River. When you see Pharaoh by the river, strike the water with your staff. When the staff struck the river, the water turned to blood. All the fish died, and the water smelled so bad that no one could drink it. But still, Pharaoh would not let God's people go. So God made frogs swarm up out of the Nile. They hopped into the palace, into Pharaoh's bedroom, right on his bed. They croaked from every oven, bowl, and pot in Egypt. But Pharaoh would still not let God's people go. So God sent more plagues. He turned the dust of the earth into biting, stinging gnats. Then swarms of flies filled every house. Animals died, and the people were covered with painful sores. Hail beat down on the crops and shattered trees. Swirling clouds of locusts ate every last plant. Then 3 days of thick black darkness covered all of Egypt. Only the Israelites had light, and still Pharaoh would not let God's people go. Then God sent one last plague, the most terrible one. He told Moses how to keep the Israelites safe. Sacrifice a sheep or a goat and paint your doorposts with blood, Moses said. When God sees the blood, he'll pass over your house and you will be safe. At midnight, the Lord struck down every firstborn son in Egypt, from Pharaoh's son to the lowliest prisoner's son. A great cry of sadness was heard throughout Egypt. Go, Pharaoh shouted at Moses and Aaron. Take your people and your animals and go. The Israelites hurried to leave Egypt. God led them toward the Red Sea, guiding them with a pillar of cloud by day and a pillar of fire by night. But when Pharaoh saw that his slaves were gone, he changed his mind. Bring the chariots, he ordered. Then he and his entire army chased after the Israelites. The Israelites saw them coming and they were terrified. But Moses said, "Do not be afraid. God will fight for you." Then he stretched out his hand over the Red Sea. God sent a powerful wind that drove the sea back, and the Israelites walked across on dry ground. The Egyptians chased them into the sea, but God made their chariots swerve and crash. Moses stretched out his hand again, and God sent the waters rushing back. Pharaoh's entire army was swept into the sea. God's people were saved. God used mighty miracles to rescue his people from slavery to Egypt. Many years later, Jesus would use mighty miracles to show that he truly was the Son of God and had come to rescue his people from slavery to sin. There we go. All right, guys, I hope y'all enjoyed today's story. I'll see you guys next time. Have a great day. Bye.